Hi guys, welcome to your first video on MLOps. In this video, we are going to look into what is MLOps, which is a primary part of any ML DL model deployment. The architecture that we are going to look at is a complete ML pipeline, model development pipeline, in which we start by identifying our problem statement or objective. With a clear problem statement in hand, we'll be able to create a solution, which is identifying a model architecture that will provide a desired result for a problem statement. So, what we call as a problem statement is what kind of data we use, what kind of reports or analysis or insights that we need, and then from there, we'll try to get into the model architecture part. What kind of model that we need, whether it is a descriptive model or a generative model or it's a predictive model or it can be any statistical model that we need. So these insights and these solutions and these steps that we'll take forward from here, once the model architecture is ready, we will dive into the development part, which is where we'll try to find whether the model architecture that we decided is providing the desired result that we need. And based on the evaluation of the model, we'll be able to get into like whether the model will be optimal, whether the model is what we need. All those questions will be answered after the evaluation. But once these three steps are done, the next comes the most critical part of it, which is iteration. Any machine learning or deep learning project needs iteration. It will actually require iteration because the data is so much has so much information that you need to have a multiple views or multiple models to say that this is my optimal model. You will need a baseline model and you will need other models to confirm whether you are passing through the baseline or not, right? So iteration is an important part of any machine learning or deep learning process. So in this iteration process, what happens is we'll create the first model, the first solution that we provide, we'll create a model out of it and then we'll deploy that model, host the model for our end customer or end user. From there, we'll have a freedom to go through the model architecture, change the model architecture, change the parameters, anything. That freedom will be given to us if you have a deployment that is ready and or a deployed model that is ready, and you will also has the freedom of just changing the model architecture, but the deployment is going to be still on. So that those two things will be given to you by CI/CD, which is continuous integration and continuous deployment. That comes under the DevOps principle, but how it applies in machine learning pipeline is we will have a model which will be hosted in a particular endpoint. That endpoint will be available throughout the entire time, and we'll automate the process of whatever model deployment changes that we take will be reflected in the final endpoint for the end user, right? So this is the in general MLOps principle that industry follow. Now coming to the different components involved, before getting into the GCP based architecture, we'll first look into the components that are involved. Uh, a small components that are involved to showcase the value of how GCP works. So in this MLOps project, we have three things. One is Docker, another one is a Flask application, another one is a Kubernetes. So the Docker is an easiest technology or tool which is defined, developed to package, productionize, and ship your code to any platform anywhere necessary. That is Docker for you. And then Flask app. Flask is a micro front end web based application which will deploy your code with an REST principle. That is, you can deploy any Python function, any Python development that you do with Flask APIs. Now the next thing is Kubernetes. Here Kubernetes is what we are using Kubernetes for in this MLOps is to scale the model horizontally as well as vertically. And the very advantage of Kubernetes is to have auto scaling. So you don't have to worry about the number of requests that comes in. You don't have to worry about how you will take care of the minimum request versus the maximum request, because Kubernetes will actually take care of that. Meaning, whenever there are low requests, it will actually reduce the number of workers. If there are high requests, it will actually spawn more machines to support that request. These are the minimal explanation for the components, right? and the next one. This architecture is created in a format where everything fits under one cloud provider, which is GCP, Google Cloud Platform. What we will do is we'll have our code, which in any CI/CD, in any DevOps application, we need a source repository. We need a repository. From that repository, whenever a change is made, we will try to trigger a build and deploy the build, right? So here, what we are going to do is we'll use the Docker image to package our code, and we'll use cloud build. The cloud build will actually take the Docker file from your source repository and trigger a build from that Docker file with that codes that are being packaged inside the Docker. We will create an image and push that image into artifact registry, or also called container registry. From there, we will once there is a image that has been uploaded into the container registry, we will trigger the cloud function, which will actually take care of the part of getting the Docker image from the container registry and putting that image into Kubernetes. Once that is done, the Kubernetes API will take care of accessing the image and then passing the changes towards the clusters, and it will actually down the very first deployment that we had and then up the next commit, that is up the clusters with the next instance that we provide, right? So in this, in any development process, one important part is logging and the next is monitoring. We will showcase where the logs are available in GCP. We will see how logging is done throughout the Docker, Flask app, and Kubernetes part, right? So the model that we are trying to deploy is an image classification model, where we will, once the deployment is done, we will send an image to test whether the model is taking the request and sending the response back. Also, to make our work easier, in order to see whether the deployment has the new changes, we will have a dummy endpoint or a status check endpoint in our Flask app, which will actually showcase if there is any change that has been made for our application, right? So in this overall architecture, the most critical part is the cloud function, where once a build is made, the cloud function should trigger the Kubernetes API, which will actually take in the definitions of image that is built and then send that information to the clusters, and the clusters will have the ability to get the image and then replace it with the old image and then have a new instance up and running. So in Kubernetes, what we mean by cluster is Kubernetes. You can consider Kubernetes as an layer which sits top on multiple systems. This layer will have access to all the systems that are under it, and it will be able to pass any operation like read write operation, input output, and everything. It will be able to pass these instructions and get that result and then showcase that result to us. So this is the overall architecture for MLOps in GCP.